Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Tonight we have an easy weeknight favorite that feels kind of fancy pants you won't want to miss. It's our version of sheet pan bourbon steak and vegetables. Stay tuned. All right, our sheet pan is fitted with about a pound of Brussels sprouts trimmed in half, 2 large sweet potatoes peeled and cut into bite-sized cubes, a half a cup of red onion, and now we're just dressing it with salt and pepper and drizzling it with a little olive oil, and I added some smoked paprika. Feel free to use whatever basic seasonings you like here. Oh, and parsley for a little color. Now we'll drizzle that with 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil and we'll place that in the 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. While the vegetables are cooking for those 20 minutes, we're going to mix up our marinade. We add in 2 tablespoons of bourbon. We add in a tablespoon of minced garlic, about a tablespoon of prepared horseradish, 2 tablespoons of whole grain mustard, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We give that a mix, and then we will prep our meat with this, and this adds a wonderful sweet and a little spicy flavor to our meat and our vegetables. I have a pound of chuck-eye steak. Feel free to use whatever cut you want. This chuck-eye steak stays real tender cooking in the oven like this, so I like to use it. And I'm just piercing those steaks in just a regular old casserole dish with a fork so that that marinade can get inside of all of the meat. Flip them over, do the same thing on the other side. Now we pour that beautiful marinade right over the top, making sure that all of our steak is well covered. We will cover this and set it aside for the remainder of the cook time. Now our vegetables have finished their 20-minute cook, and we're just going to nestle these steaks right in among the vegetables. I just take a fork and just clear some little spots to place the steak inside. You can put them on top of the vegetables if you want, but I like that placing them on the sheet pan. It gives the steak a little bit of a good sear. Now we got those guys all nestled in, and we're going to take the remainder of that marinade from our meat and just drizzle it right over the top. This will go into that 425-degree oven for another 20 minutes. Okay, we have finished our 40-minute total cook time. I took the vegetables out after 40 minutes, like I showed you, and placed the meat. I snuggled it in all around the vegetables. Then I popped them back in the oven at 425 for 10 minutes, flipped the steak over, put it back in for another 10 for a total 20-minute cook time. And I just want to give you a quick tip, and I hope you can see. I like to serve this on a board, so a lot of times I do this on parchment so that I can just take it and just slide it out onto a board. I'm naturally not going to do that today because I'll make a mess. But I also like to take the steak and cut it on the bias. So that means I put my knife down and I tilt it, kind of tilt it that way, and slice it just like that. And just so you can see that even with just a 20-minute cook time, that steak is done. It's done beautifully. It's a tad pink, but it's not bloody. So 425 degrees for these steaks that I used, perfect. Now let's taste test it. I already had some on the plate and I'm eating it off the pan. Let's get a Brussels sprout and a sweet potato. So first, before I take another bite, that steak doesn't taste like bourbon at all. It's left with the sweet, smoky notes of the bourbon, but that's it. The other flavor components that we added, the brown sugar, the mustard, and the horseradish, all kind of balance that out and add their own things to it, but it's not overpowering and it's just enough. Let's see if it kind of seeped into the vegetables too, which we season those well too, so let's see. Look, I'm just going to tell you, onion, sweet potato, and Brussels sprouts. There is no combination like it on earth. It's my favorite vegetable combination. You have the sweet, the earthy, and then that red onion just adds just a little bit of whoop whoop to it, and it's so good. So very good. Easy weeknight meal. This steak that I used is chuck eye steak, and I challenge you to try it. If you can't find it in your meat counter, ask your butcher for it. It's just as good as ribeye. And that's no lie, but a fraction of the cost. So we hope that you will not only take this recipe and try it, but we also hope that you'll check out our friends at Clyde Mays and use their Alabama-inspired bourbon as well, like we did, and make this wonderful, delicious, one-pan dish that can be done on a Tuesday night, but it feels real fancy pants. This recipe, like all of our others, can be found over at thebutteredhome.com. Free, printable recipe card with room in the margins for you to make notes to add to or take away from this recipe and make it your own. That's what we're here to do at The Buttered Home, is to help you fall in love with cooking either the first time or the 11th time. That's our passion, is to show you recipes that get you in the kitchen and falling in love with cooking. So we hope that you'll try this and let us know if you love it as much as we do. If you're not already, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a real good time and we want you around with us for it. And as always, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find us, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Big D's gonna be a happy man. Now, this is one of those recipes that he was a naysayer about. Steak cooked in the oven? No ma'am, no ma'am. But the first time I made it for him, he said, I may let you do that a little more often. That means it was good in Big D code. But anyway, he'll be happy to know that this is ready for him so he can go ahead and come in from outside and eat some good supper that I feel good about serving. As always, from The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.